Following the death of King Matthias I Corvinus Hunyadi on the 6th of April 1490, the Diet of the Realm of St. Stephen assembled for a special session to elect a new king. It became very clear very quickly that the vast majority of the estates of the realm did not support Matthias's chosen successor, his illegitimate son John Corvinus. The estates had sworn an oath to make John the next king a year before, but that oath was made to King Matthias, and King Matthias was now dead, and it can be argued that the oath was made under duress. There were several reasons why the estates opposed John Corvinus. They didn't want a continuation of King Matthias's increasingly absolutist and centralizing style of rulership. They had had enough of the violations of the constitutional order, enough of the illegal taxes or taxes at all, enough of the expensive mercenary black army that sucked up most of the realm's revenues, replaced the warrior nobility as the crown's main military force, and was King Matthias's oppressive iron fist against any potential dissent. They had had enough of the reforms, of losing privileges, of the educated commoners and foreigners in the administration, and they had had enough of the hypocrisy. In his last years of rulership, King Matthias was preaching law and order to the realm, while using any and every means at his disposal to bolster the claim of his bastard son. Matthias had given John Corvinus enough land, some of it taken from others, to make him the richest noble in the realm. And as hard as Matthias had worked to legitimize his son, his wife, Queen Consort Beatrice of Naples, worked hard to prevent John's succession. Her main means of doing so did not succeed, even after 14 years of marriage. But she used the resources and position of the Queen Consort to hinder John's prospects, and now, as John's long-standing opponent, she wielded some influence over the succession debate. Another consideration that prevented John's election was that not choosing one of the other candidates could lead to war, on all fronts. The first among the other candidates was Maximilian von Hapsburg, King of the Romans and of Germany, Regent of Burgundy, son of the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick III. Maximilian claimed the throne through the Treaty of Vienna-Neustadt of 1463, signed between his father and King Matthias, which designated Frederick III and his heirs as successors to the realm of St. Stephen in case Matthias died without a legitimate heir. Considering Frederick III was 75 in 1490 and at death's door, Maximilian took up the claim. Maximilian's supporters in the Diet of the Realm of St. Stephen believed that Maximilian, as heir to the empire, would be capable of defending the realm from the Ottoman threat. Maximilian had already provided aid to some of the estates on the Ottoman border, mostly Croatian nobility. That not only provided for the forward defense of Habsburg land, but also made the estates receiving aid more inclined to support Maximilian. But Maximilian was not popular with the majority of the estates of the realm of St. Stephen. Partially due to Frederick III's actions during the mid-century crisis, partially due to the animosity towards Frederick and Maximilian that was encouraged by King Matthias over the last few decades, partially due to the estates viewing the Habsburgs as foreigners who brought nothing but trouble the last time they were on the throne, and partially due to Maximilian exhibiting some centralizing and absolutist tendencies in his dealings with his subjects in Burgundy and the Low Countries. The other two candidates effectively had the same claim to the throne. One was King Wladislav of Bohemia, and the other was his brother Prince John Albert of Poland, both sons of King Casimir IV of Poland-Lithuania. claiming the crown of Saint Stephen through their mother Elizabeth, who was daughter of King Albert von Hapsburg of Germany, Bohemia, Hungary, Dalmatia, Croatia, etc., and through their uncle, King Wladislav Jagiellon of Poland, Lithuania, Hungary, Dalmatia, Croatia, etc., who died at the Battle of Varna in 1444. King Casimir IV gave his support to Prince John Albert, in the hopes of spreading the Jagiellon dynasty out and securing a crown for each of his sons. But the estates of the realm of Saint Stephen had other ideas. They preferred King Wladislav of Bohemia. Wladislav was exactly what they were looking for. Since becoming King of Bohemia in 1471, Wladislav ruled in accordance with the will of the Bohemian estates. Or, to look at it another way, the Bohemian Hussite revolt had stripped the crown of much of its property and power, and since Wladislav arrived on the throne with no army of his own, and his territorial rule was limited to Bohemia proper, he was completely and utterly dependent on the goodwill of the estates of Bohemia. Because of this, and since he was very young when he became king, Wladislav adopted a non-assertive style of rulership. When the effort to strengthen the Catholic Church and the crown in Bohemia failed with the Second Defenestration of Prague in 1483, Wladislav did not attempt to assert his authority and dominance and escalate the situation into another civil war. Instead, tensions were calmed, which led to a settlement at the Diet of Kutna Hora in 1485, which brought an end to the Hussite confessional conflicts in Bohemia. This non-assertive nature won Wladislav the approval of the magnates of the realm of Saint Stephen, who it is said wanted a king whose brain they could hold in their hands. Queen consort Beatrice also made background dealings with Wladislav, promising to put her support behind him if he agreed to marry her after his election and coronation. It should also be noted that there was a number of nobles in the realm of Saint Stephen who had acquired property in Moravia, Silesia and Lusatia under King Matthias, after his conquests of Bohemia in the 1470s. After Matthias died, those lands rebelled and declared reunification with Bohemia proper under King Wladislav. So of course those landholders supported Wladislav in order to retain those properties without too much difficulty. All of the reasons mentioned made Wladislav the favorite to become the next king. As it became clear where the wind was blowing, some Hungarian and Croatian nobles sent appeals to Maximilian von Hapsburg and Prince John Albert of Poland, asking them to come and seize the throne by force. While inside the realm, John Corvinus, with support of his friend Lawrence of Ilok and the Archbishop of Kalosha, gathered an army and marched for Buda. They were defeated on the 4th of July 1490 by the favored commanders of King Matthias, Stephen Batory and Paul Kinigi. On the 15th of July 1490, the Diet of the realm of Saint Stephen elected King Wladislav of Bohemia as their new monarch, provided he agreed to sign and swear to coronation documents obliging him to respect the will of the Diet, the advice of the Royal Council, the constitution of the realm, the traditional rights, liberties and privileges of the estates, and to not perpetuate any dangerous novelties that King Matthias had introduced. At the end of July, Wladislav swore to the documents at the border of his realms. Soon after, John Corvinus swore loyalty to the new king. King Wladislav in return allowed John to keep his lands and titles, and appointed him Duke of Slavonia. As Wladislav prepared for his coronation in the autumn, in August of 1490 Vienna opened its gates to Maximilian von Hapsburg, who quickly regained control over Lower Austria and Styria, taking back what King Matthias had conquered 5 years before. And in Poland, John Albert prepared to march southwards.